Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Boots and Bounty Homestead. I want to do a quick follow-up for our rosemary propagation that we did. Now, we did one in water. Now, I want to show you guys that the one in water, it did grow roots, but it took it a while. Now, these take up to about 6 weeks to do this, but the leaves started to brown. But if we come over here and look at the one we put in the composted gin trash, all the leaves are really pretty. They are still green, doing great. So if the ones in the water produce roots like this, then I would assume, since the one in the soil is doing better, that the soil would actually do better with propagation. Now with rosemary, they grow very slow, and it may take it 2 or 3 years to become a really big bushy plant. And if you leave it in a pot until it does get big enough, you could take it inside so the snow and the ice doesn't kill it. Although here where I am in 7B, the winters don't get harsh enough to really kill it off. Excuse me, but we do have to take a little care. Just in case those things do happen, like the polar vortex a couple of years ago. That one did kill my rosemary. But if you wanted to, you could leave it in a pot, plant it out during the spring, summer, and fall, and then of course you can dig it up and take it inside if you would like. Rosemary can be an indoor plant. It just does better if it's outside, and it does take 2 to 3 years to get really well established. So if the first couple of years you want to leave it in a pot, take it inside, that would be fabulous. And then once it gets big enough to sustain itself, then you can move it outside and just kind of let it take over and become this big, beautiful bush that you dream of rosemary being. So in conclusion, I wanted to show you guys that I believe that dirt is the best. You can propagate rosemary because I did have some questions. So here's the proof that the water does propagate the roots so that we can have more rosemary plants. Now, with rosemary and lavender being in the same family, I would assume that you could do this with lavender as well, because it does have that woody stalk, and if it lays down on the ground, it will create roots. So I'm assuming you could do this with lavender as well. I do have some lavender I could do an experiment with, but since I started with rosemary, I wanted to hit on it first. So if you need more rosemary plants, and I'm probably going to go back and do one for lavender, but if you need more lavender plants, this does work. Now, like I said, it does take upwards, I think we're about week 5-ish now, since I actually put these in the water. It could be probably 2 or 3 weeks since I put the video out. Probably about 3 weeks since the video came out. But it's been actually about going on 5 weeks. So it does take 4 to 6 weeks for those roots to develop. So don't get discouraged. Make sure you keep it watered, but don't keep it sitting in water when it's in the dirt, because it can get waterbound. The rosemary does like harsh conditions, being a little sandy, a little drier. And I believe that's why this one turned brown. It's just because it's sitting in water. But we got the roots, we got a new plant, and we can go ahead and plant the one that's in the water in the dirt, and it will allow it to continue to grow and prosper. And the other one I'm just going to leave in a pot, and as it does get a little bit bigger, now it is slow growing, so it's going to take it a while, but as it gets bigger, I'm just going to up pot it and take it inside and baby it and all that good stuff and get me a big, beautiful bush. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this gives you some information on creating more rosemary plants for your herbal garden. And I hope it's one of those herbs that you love. I cook with it with everything. It's an herbal medicinal plant, so check out its properties and use it more in your cooking so it can be a medicinal benefit to you and your family. So guys, I hope this helped you, and until next time, we will see you later. Bye guys.